Hi, welcome back to Halloween House. So, we are returning with our story of Rodney Alcala. I forget what video this is. Figure it out and tag it later. It's a long story. He was one of the most prolific serial killers in American history.
Yeah.
And we are taking off again with
Robin Samsoe. She was born on December 13th, 1966 in Kenosha, Wisconsin. She was the daughter of a single mother, Mary Ann Connolly. Mary Ann moved Robin and Robin's 3 siblings to Huntington Beach, California, in the hopes of a better life.
And Robin loved ballet and gymnastics, and she would spend many days playing on the beach with her friends, holding cartwheel competitions, and just goofing off. She was a happy and cheerful little girl.
Yeah, doing fun kid stuff. June 20th, 1979 was supposed to be her first day of work at a ballet studio. She was going to answer the phones in exchange for ballet lessons.
And Robin, unfortunately, would never make it to the studio.
Before she was to be at work, Robin and her best friend Bridget wanted to spend the day at the beach. While playing, a man approached them and asked to take their picture for a photo competition. A neighbor of Bridget saw this interaction and intervened. The man fled.
So it got close to the time when Robin was to be at the studio, and they were still a little bit shaken from the encounter. And Robin was running a little bit late for work, her first day of work. So Bridget gave Robin her bike and said, "Don't stop for anyone." But Robin never made it to the studio.
When Robin failed to appear at the studio, they called her mother. She immediately called 911, and the search and investigation into Robin's disappearance began.
After interviewing Bridget, she told the investigators of this strange encounter they had at the beach, and she helped the investigators draft a composite sketch, and it was released on the evening news. A former parole officer of Alcala's happened to be watching that news broadcast and recognized Alcala.
So there was a photo lineup of 6 men, including Alcala, and it was shown to Bridget and the neighbor. They both positively identified Alcala as the man that approached them.
And on the same day as Robin disappeared, a 20-year-old woman, she was working as a firefighter in the Angeles National Forest, would later testify that she witnessed a man dragging a young blonde girl into the woods. She did nothing and said nothing, and she would also testify she saw the same man the next evening in the same area.
This just blows my mind.
I don't know why someone would witness that and not say anything. We're choosing not to use her name.
Yeah, just very strange.
Very. It gets stranger, in my opinion.
So on June 25th, she returned to the site where she saw the man dragging the little girl, and she discovered human remains. But again, she says nothing.
Nothing. On June 29th, she was working with another fireman, and as a joke, this fireman throws what he thinks is a deer bone at her, and she freaks out, and she once again returns to the site. So this would be the 3rd time she visits the site, because she wanted to confirm her previous findings, and they were confirmed. They were indeed human remains. Again, she said nothing.
So on July 2nd, 1979, this same firefighter that threw the bone as a joke discovered the human remains. He reported it.
Yes, he reports it. So on July 6, 1979, dental records confirmed they are the remains of Robin Samsoe.
Rodney Alcala was arrested on July 14th for the disappearance of Robin.
Yep. So during a recorded phone conversation Alcala had with his sister when he was in custody, he tells her of a storage locker in Seattle, and he instructs her to go to the storage locker and get rid of everything.
And we've mentioned this locker before, but he definitely wanted to get all that evidence out of there as fast as possible. But thankfully, the police were one step ahead, and during a search of his mother's home in Monterey Park, California, where he had been residing, they found a receipt for that same locker, and they were already on their way to Seattle with a search warrant.
So finally something works out a little bit in this whole investigation, this whole saga.
Yeah.
So in the locker, they did find approximately 1,700 photographs. We did mention that in previous videos, which led to the solving of another cold case. And you might be familiar with the case of Alcala and how he took pictures of his victims and other people, and some of them haven't been identified. But anyways, one particular photo caught their attention, and it was a young girl roller skating on Sunset Boulevard. Now, Sunset Boulevard is only 2 miles away from Huntington Beach, where Robin disappeared. And they released the photo to the public in hopes of identifying the girl. And this 16-year-old girl came forward, and she told a very familiar story. A man approached her and her friend and asked to take their photograph for a magazine contest. Now, the friend happened to make an entry in her diary of this encounter. And it was June 20th, 1979, the same day that Robin disappeared. And again, both girls would pick Alcala out of a photo lineup.
Things were coming together. So as the police started to search the storage locker, they found a small bag of earrings. Robin's mother would identify a pair of the gold earrings as one that Robin would often borrow from her. And Alcala said those were his earrings.
Now, in previous videos, we did mention, make note of this. You know, his appearance on the dating game show and all the pictures we have of Alcala. Has anybody ever seen him wearing earrings?
Guys didn't
Never
really wear earrings.
And men
back
weren't
then.
wearing earrings in 1979. If they were, it was immediately recognizable. There would be no doubt, yes, Alcala wears earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could come forward and say for sure
No.
that he was wearing earrings. No pictures, nothing. So they weren't his.
Nope.
And another pair of earrings also found in the storage locker will come into play later on in the trial. So,
Yeah. So Alcala would stand trial for Robin in September of 1980. And we'll talk more about that in the next video.
yes, we have one final video, which we're just going to go ahead and cover all 3 trials and how everything came to the end and how he was finally convicted of not only Robin Samsoe's murder, but the 2 in New York and 2 more in California.
So
So
stay tuned.
stay spooky and stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Good enough?